They cut down my trees without asking, said they were blocking the neighborhood view. Now they pay me every summer for the shade I used to give them for free. Yeah, this one still makes me smile every time I open the mail. I've lived in my house for over 20 years. It's not fancy, but it is mine. And right in the middle of the yard stood 2 massive oak trees. I planted them myself the year my daughter was born. Over time, they became the heart of the home, providing shade, privacy, and a quiet breeze in the summer. Then one afternoon I came home from work, and they were gone. Nothing but 2 raw stumps and a pile of sawdust where 40 years of shade used to stand. At first, I thought there'd been a mistake. Maybe a storm cleanup or utility crew accident. But no. A bright yellow HOA tag was nailed to one stump. Removed per community maintenance order. I called the HOA immediately. Their president, Nancy, answered like I was wasting her time. She said, "Your trees extended into common property and obstructed the park view. We were within our rights." I checked my property line, twice. Those trees were entirely on my lot. I even had the survey from when I bought the house. I told her she had no right to touch them. She just said, "Then file a complaint. The board will review it next quarter." Quarter? My trees were gone now. A week later, I got a letter offering me a $50 replacement sapling credit. $50 per tree? I laughed out loud. "Nancy," I said to myself, "you just cut down your first bad decision." I hired a professional arborist to assess the damage. His report was gold. He calculated that the loss of my mature oaks increased my home's summer cooling costs by $180 a month and reduced my property value by nearly $9,000. He even included a section called ecological replacement cost. Apparently, replacing trees that size would cost more than $12,000. So I filed a small claims lawsuit against the HOA for property destruction and loss of value. They laughed when they got the notice. Their lawyer called it a waste of court time. But at the hearing, I showed the survey, the arborist's report, the energy bills, and the HOA's own maintenance order with Nancy's signature. The judge looked at her and said, "You cut down private property without consent. That's not maintenance. That's vandalism." I walked out that day with a judgment for $9,000 in damages plus $2,200 per year for loss of shade and environmental value for the next 5 years. Do the math. That's another $6,000 they owe me. The best part? The case made local news. Headline: HOA pays homeowner for unauthorized tree removal. Nancy resigned 2 months later. With the settlement money, I planted 2 new oaks, bigger, stronger, and right on the property line. This time, I added a motion-activated security camera and a small sign that reads, "Smile, HOA, you're paying for these." Now, every summer, I sit under their shade with a cold drink, open the HOA's rent check, and think to myself, sometimes karma grows back stronger than before.